My area is corporate strategy and planning, and it involves obviously the strategic plan, the planning process, risk, and elements of review. So we cover all of that for the university. So within our area, the defined areas is, I'll talk about reporting. We do reporting to government, and so we send government on a regular basis results of our performance, about our students, about our staff, all of those sorts of things. And internal reporting we also do for the Vice-Chancellor and his advisory group on a regular basis. Strategy and planning is a process by which the university has a particular roadmap with which it uses to take it from where now we are to where now we are going to. And underneath all of that is a set of ways with which we can measure ourselves on the way through. And so what we do is we plan with the senior executive, and we go down to the executive deans and to the schools and to within the schools the staff. From the university services perspective, we go into the divisions and do it that way as well. And what we try and get is an intersection of people understanding how the plan affects them and how it affects upwards and the university as a whole. And so we use that reporting focus as well to help with that. So it all kind of mixes in together. The other part of that process, which I think is really kind of interesting, is, and that it's come into my area, is risk. And everybody sort of, goes a risk. But what we try and do is think about risk in terms of how planning, what we're doing with our planning and what risks are around that process. So when we're thinking about what we're going to do for the next couple of years, and how we're going to report that, we have to also think about what are the risks and be informed about our decision making. And so putting all of that together makes a really big difference about how people in the divisions and in the faculties put it all together and go, I know how now the university is moving on in the future and what we need to do, what I need to do. So we're gradually getting down to the level of the individual within the university and how they see themselves contributing to the overall performance of the university. So that's pretty much what we do. The Vice-Chancellor has some priorities for 211, which include things like examining students and what students are actually saying about the performance of the university, and I think that's really critical. And we need to listen to that, but we also need to feed back to the students that we've heard them. And I think for the very first time that I can recall, we're actually very serious about that, and I'm glad. Second part of that is about growth and research and getting that going and really, geeing up the engine room of research. And the third thing is about, of course, financial sustainability. But I think 211, as well as those priorities, is around the university moving towards our agreement with government and compacts and so forth. And so for the average person, they go, what are those sorts of things? Or Google it and you'll find out. But it's about our agreement with government, and it's about where we see ourselves in the next 3 years. And I think the next 3 to 5 are going to be very interesting for the university in terms of our investigation into dual sector and about where we position ourselves in our local and regional communities. And I think for this university, that's the most exciting part of the last 41 years of this place.